Hello, Dominic from BMT Spain, website for beginners to advanced players. And today the video is about the serve, about the similarities between a throwing motion and a serving motion. I know that my last video was about the throwing position, from that position making that serve, but the video of today has two reasons. One, explain a little better the similarities you will see between the throwing and the serving action, explaining a little more the points that will happen. And the second reason, this is an answer to Meike Babel, which is an ex-female tennis player, pro player, which has a lot of content on internet, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and another person who goes by the name Namtran, who gave me a reply on the serve, where I said that the serve is easy, is the most natural stroke, because it is just a throwing action, and especially for recreational players, don't make it too difficult. Don't start to go with the words like loading, trophy position, weight transfer, rotation, shoulder over shoulder, extension, pronation. Just learn them to throw and they will develop a decent serve. Now, this video is also a response for them. So let's start. Now, the first answer I got is that the serve is not the same, because the serve is a vertical motion where the throw is a forward motion. Now, if I serve, it will not be exactly vertical, but I will have an angle which is more about 60-70 degrees, so there will be a forward part in the serve, and that's why it's not vertical, it's also not forward, it's more a diagonal motion. So if I have my serve here and I'm going up, so here, this is where I will make contact, my arm will be in this position. I will show some videos from pro players at the end of this video, but you will see that the angle will not be here when they touch the ball, the angle will be like this. Now, if I want to throw a ball far, I don't want to throw the ball forward, I want to throw the ball with a curve. So that means if I want to curve, then I have to go up, and this is where the throwing motion starts, similarly to the serve. So if I throw a high ball, I throw like this. Now if I serve, I serve like this. So you can already see a lot of similarities, and let's go a little deeper into those similarities. Now, first of all, if you don't want to throw far or you don't want to serve hard, you are not going to do exactly the same motion as you want to have a hard serve or throw the ball very far. So let me first show you that one. Now, if I don't want to throw far, I'm not going to do the whole motion here. I'm just going to make a motion here. So I want to throw the ball around the net. So the only thing I'm going to do is just this. But see where my arm is. Now, if I just want to serve the ball in with not 100% of power, I'm also not going to do all this. I'm going to make my motion smaller. I'm just going to do from here, and I'm just going to serve like this, and I already have a good serve. And you could also see that my arm was in that position around the 60-70 degree angle. Now, if I want to throw further or I want to serve harder, then I'm going to use a little bigger motion, and this is where it starts. So in the serve, we have the weight goes back, you start to bend the knees, you start to load the legs, you get into that trophy position, the left shoulder is higher than the right shoulder, you start to get that weight transfer, you start to push up, the racket starts to drop, you get that rotation, you get that shoulder over shoulder, you get that extension, and you get that pronation. This is the serve. Now, if I want to throw that ball further, I will have the same. I will get my weight back, I will start to bend my knees, I will have here that trophy position or that throwing position, I will have that transfer, I will go up, I will have that rotation, I will have that shoulder over shoulder, I will have that extension, and if I throw relaxed here, I will also have that pronation. So if you ask me, there are a lot of similarities in throwing and serving. Now some people will say, yeah, but they jump in the serve. Well, if I have in here my serve and I jump, I can also jump in my throwing action. So there will be no difference in the motion if I jump or not. So now let me demonstrate again the throwing and the serving with a, let's say, full motion. I will make a video, yeah, from this side and also one from that side, so you can see it from the back and you can see it from the side. Now I'm going to throw the ball, yeah, on the other side of the court. So now you will see, yeah, I will go back, I will open my hip, my shoulder, get in that throw fade, making that weight transfer, pushing up, making that shoulder over shoulder, and make that throw. So let's check it out. So I can throw to the other side of the court. Now if I'm going to do a serve, I also will get here, open the hip, open the shoulder, get in that trophy, get that weight transfer, and then I make that serve. So let's go. So there you have a faster serve, and we're going to do now one from the side, and you will see that you have a lot of similarities. I also then jump, I can throw with a jump, I can serve with a jump, but it's just to see the similarities there are in throwing and serving. So let's get one from the side. So the throwing motion, I go back, make that turn, go here, so I have this motion. Now I'm going to do the serve, and I'm just throwing again my racket, and again a good serve. So let's check out some points, yeah, where I got here, where I got here, where I got here, and when I got there. So let's check out some angles by step, and then we are going to watch some videos from professionals where you will see that the ball is in front, that the moment they touch, they have this angle. Now, for namtran, he was talking about the vertical part. Well, the vertical part is for the racket, the throwing action. This is here the arm, as well as the serve, as well as the throw. What will happen is that the racket will go up, and the moment you touch the ball, your racket will be more in a, let's call it, vertical position. It will not be really vertical. You will have here an angle because of that pronation, yeah, not because of the snap here. With a good serve you have pronation, but let's say this point my racket is vertical. So you will hit the ball when the racket is going up in that vertical position, and then it will go again here, yeah, more forward, more diagonal. So if you talk about vertical, it's about the racket, you hit it in a vertical position, especially for a flat serve. But you will also see that in the professionals, where I drew lines between the arm and the position of the racket. So let's go and check out some positions of the shoulder, the hips, and the arms. Now, another tip I have for recreational players is that also don't worry too much about the height of the ball. It's a fact, if you can throw it higher, you have more angle, you can hit it a little faster, but we are recreational players, not professionals, so that's why the throwing action, this is also for meike babel. I don't have an advanced degree in biomechanics, but I have learned to throw the ball, and this is why I have a good serve. Now, the height of the ball is also a part where the racket will go up, and if the racket goes up, you will have your spin, you will have your control. So also for recreational players, don't worry too much about the height. Just let me show you a few balls. I will toss lower, a little higher, and a little higher. The idea is that if you make that extension, the racket goes up to make contact with the ball, and this is what's important in your serve. So let me say, serve a few balls. So as you could see, that ball was not very high, but if that racket goes up in contact, you will also already have a decent serve. You can toss it a little higher and have a more powerful serve. So as you can see, I'm not doing a lot, I'm just making a throwing motion. Now I can have it higher also, and still have that throwing motion with a little faster serve. So also a tip for recreationals, don't worry too much about the height, just learn to throw. If the motion is more here in a 45-degree angle, or in a 60-degree angle, or in a 70-degree angle, that will make the difference, yeah, of your contact point. But the idea is that you go towards your ball, yeah, with the throwing motion. If you have less shoulder over shoulder, don't worry too much. As long as the racket goes up, you will develop a great serve. So, thank you for watching. See you in another video.